Welcome back for another trip on the coast path. I left off at Plymouth about a month ago now, so back for another week on this trip. Now, when you leave Plymouth, this is when it requires a little bit of planning. It gets tricky because you've got 3 estuary crossings to make, about 7-8 miles, one after the other. Now the first one I'm trying to rush to now, the ferry runs from 10 till 4. So I've just passed Wembury Point there, got a cold drink, and it says 206 miles to Poole. There's also a sign there with the phone number for the ferryman and says to call him to check it's running, and he is running till 4 today, which is good. Which means I've got plenty of time now, I can take my foot off the gas a little bit. Oh, but it's a hot one. It's supposed to be warm like this again tomorrow, Sunday. And I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is supposed to be a little bit more cloudy, which should be nice. I'm just coming into Warren Point behind me there. I'll show you when I get down there. You can't really see it, it's over the hill. It's beautiful around there. I can't wait to get down there and have a look. It's lovely. On a beautiful day, the water's really clear. Lots of boats out, it's the weekend, so everyone's come out to enjoy the good weather and the sun. But this Warren Point's really beautiful. I wasn't expecting that. So this is Warren Point. I'm just trying to find the ferry crossing. I think it's up ahead still. I think that's where I can see the ferry there actually. Look how beautiful that is. So I can just see the ferry across the road. There's one of these drop boards here for the ferry, but I can just see him picking people up now. I believe that's him on the other side. Look how nice this place is. This is lovely. Oh, I'm going to drop this board anyway. There goes the ferry there. You just drop these little boards that are by the marker post, and he sort of sits on his boat all day and comes over and picks you up. This is Mayo, and I think it's Newton Ferris across the other side there. But it's really lovely here. It does say you shouldn't walk across this river, but there are kids walking across it. It's ankle deep. So if the ferry's too late for the ferry and it's low tide, you could walk across that. Oh, there is actually a walkway across there. So if you're late for the ferry and it's a late low tide, you can just carry on up through Newton Ferris. The ferry's down that way. You can actually walk up. There's a walkway there. But I am going to the pub. Now I've made it across the water. The River is about 8 miles away, and it's not going to be low tide now for 24 hours. So I've only got 8 miles to cover in 24 hours. The ferryman actually gave me a really good wild camping spot. This is what I love about the coast path. The locals tell you where to wild camp. You wouldn't get that much in much other places. So I'm going to head to the pub now, just kill a couple of hours, and then probably about 6 o'clock head back out and find this little quarry thing he told me about where to camp. It's a nice grassy flat spot. I'm just leaving Mayo behind me here. What a beautiful place, it really is. I'm kind of stuck here because I've now got to cross Warren Point. 8 miles ahead is the River I can't cross that till an hour either side of low tide, which for me, it's June 24th, is 5 AM or 5 PM, so I can cross it an hour either side. So there's not much point in me pushing on too hard because it's 5 o'clock now. So I can't cross it for another 24 hours. I did think about maybe pushing further on to and crossing it at 5 AM, but then I've only got 5 miles to Bigby, and it's a Sunday tomorrow, and I can't cross the following estuary in 5 miles time because the ferry doesn't run on a Sunday. So I've just been trying to work out all the variables. Do I just get there, maybe walk the 8 miles around it, or try and get a taxi around it? I'm just leaving Mayo behind now. It's just a slow, gentle walk up. I'll show you the path behind me. I heard this area was just a nice sort of a flat, gentle walk. I'm expecting to find a place I'm going to pitch about half a mile to a mile maybe. This is what I kind of miss about not wild camping the coast path more. Walking later into the evenings when it's just a bit more peaceful, a bit more quiet. There's a different kind of light around as the sun's going down. It's usually my favourite time to walk, late evening, really early morning. And you only get that when you're wild camping, really. But the views are so much, they're so much more improved on South Cornwall. South Cornwall kind of knocked the wind out of my sails on this trip, really, on the coast path. I don't know why, I just didn't enjoy it as much. Maybe I wasn't in the right frame of mind, but maybe just the North Coast offered so much, and South Cornwall just was a bit, you know, it was good, but it wasn't the North Coast. But I'm only 5 or 6 miles into South Devon now, and it's really picked my spirits up. It's more of what the North Coast was. These views, I'll turn you around in a minute. The views are much more open, the paths are more open. You're on top of the cliffs at the moment. I know there'll be some more mid-cliff walking and there'll be some overgrown stuff. But looking at other people's videos in the South Devon, it does seem to be a lot more on top of the cliffs as well, which is the bit I enjoy. I've just found the spot that the guy on the ferry was talking about. So I've just come up the path from Mayo, and there's this cutout in the rock. I think it's some old quarrying, and out here I can really feel a breeze, but when I step 10 yards in there's nothing at all, which is handy. It's really shielded on either side, so that's perfect. It's still early, so I might have a wander up, see if there's any more spots up there, but definitely that's probably where I'm going to end up camping tonight. All set up now, pretty much the same loadout I had last time. Yeah, happy with that. I never sleep comfortably when I'm wild camping. It's just, I never have. I'm not maverick enough to enjoy it. But I've wild camped every national trail in the south of England. But I'd say out of all the spots I've found to camp, this is probably the one I'm most happy with. Like I say, it is secluded. I'm absolutely nowhere near any houses or anything. It's not on farmland. It's, you know, it's public access land here, so that's as good as you could really hope for. But let's see if we sleep well tonight then. So I'm going to sign off for the night. Tomorrow's going to be another funny day. It's 5.5 miles, I think, to the River Erm. I'll probably get there about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. And then I can't cross the river till, I reckon, at least 4, maybe 3:30. So I'm probably just going to sit on the beach there for a bit, catch some rays. There is a cafe there, kill some time there. And then I've got to really push. I think it's 5.5 miles then to Bigby. So I'll have to kind of push to get to Bigby and try and get to the pub and get something to eat before it closes, and the shop to get some food as well for the following day. But then I'll have to wait till 10 o'clock in the morning for the ferry to come. So yeah, it's going to be another funny day tomorrow. A lot of slowly walking, killing time, and then really pushing it again. So I'm going to sign off for the night, and I will see you in the morning.